Hello and welcome to Papercrafting Playdate. My name is Robin Armbrecht at Really Robin Stamps, and you are joining me for episode 128 is what I wrote down. I think that's accurate, of Papercrafting Playdates. I'm so excited for you to be here, and welcome to my new craft space. I have moved bedroom spaces since the last time we were together, and it's a hot mess, so I can't give you a tour yet, but I will get on that, finish it up so you can see my new space. It's not any bigger than it was before, but as you can see behind me, I have an extra window now, which has made all the difference in my lighting and my enjoyment of the space. So super excited. So this is the first play date in August because I've been doing all of those household renovation tasks. So I have missed you, and I hope you're excited to do some paper crafting today. So please join in the comments whether you're watching this live or you're going to watch it on the replay later. I love to hear what you're up to. I love to hear where you're from, what you're doing, and all that good stuff about the projects and things like that. So let's take a look at the stamping table, because I have a lot of cards to share with you. So when I get cards in the mail, I hold on to them. They're precious, and I love to share your work. So I'm going to take a moment to do that while you are saying hello to your friends. So I'm so excited. I got my first Christmas card. This is from Pamela. She said she is making her cards in July for the holidays, and I am inspired by this. And you're going to see an idea for cards today, because I am bound and determined to get mine done way ahead of time for the first time probably ever. But isn't this beautiful? This is I think this is a retired Stampin' Up! Stamp set, but what I love about your focal point here, Pamela, is how you layered this gorgeous star with the die cut of the town, and then your greeting, and then you've got the wise men coming following the star. Like, this tells a story. It's so amazing, and it's just precious. Thank you so much for sharing that. I hope you have a bunch of them made already, ready to go. And thank you so much to Judy. She puts me on her card ministry list, and she does something inspirational for a bunch of people every month. And she's always got a nice little verse and a little inspirational saying to go along with whatever she puts on the front of her cards. I just think that's really special, how you tie them together, Judy. Thank you so much for including me on that. Appreciate it. Oh, Pat got to see the new craft room. Yeah, it's going to be so great when I can actually hang things up and have everything in the right spot. It's totally not in the right spot. So today may be kind of chaotic because I'm trying to figure things out. So this is a precious card from my demonstrator friend, Stephanie. It came in one of those special envelopes that you get from the post office where they've accidentally dropped, shredded, ruined, whatever, your parcel or your card. And so you can see there's no greeting on there because it all got washed off. It was apparently sitting in a puddle somewhere. So interesting how it only affected the dye ink, right? Everything else came just fine. So Stephanie, thank you so much for your card, and you can share with me what the greeting was later. I'm just gonna think that it said hello or hi there, something like that. All right, next I have a card from Mary, sorry. And this is so cute. So she made this little 3D shadow card. And she's got the little puppy in there, the dog days of summer is the greeting. And so the little poem on the back says, "It's nearly over, you tell, little rover. The heat and storms should pass. The trees will change and things get rearranged to get ready for the cold blast." Love it. That's precious, Mary. So cute. She embossed that dog. He's all black and white and shiny. This is stunning. A little pop of yellow for his tennis ball. You guys are amazing. This is from Barb. Incredible. Look at her layering of her masking, and then she layered all of those beautiful lavender images, the grass, the purple, the sky, and then she cut these out and colored those as well. It's absolutely beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Love it. Just gorgeous. Hey, Betty from Minnesota, first time watching live. I'm so excited you are joining us today. Hey, Laurel. Susan Berry. Very pixelated. I'm not sure about that. Okay, look at this card from Anita. You're gonna have to watch it carefully. Is that incredible or what? There's a very complicated mechanism under there. I have not figured that out at all, but this is something I've never seen before. It's just amazing. Anita, awesome work. I can't wait. I can't wait to learn how to do that. This is from Lori. She had shared this card in our Facebook group, and then I got to see it in person when she sent it to me. Beautiful layered die cut flower in those shades of blue on top of this beautiful background paper. It's just so beautiful. Yeah, the moving card is incredible. I agree. This came from Australia. This is from Heather. She said that she remembered I said I like Perfect Plum was my favorite Stampin' Up! Color ever, and she still had some Perfect Plum cardstock, and so she made a perfect plum card with little bits of fresh freesia and old olive and mossy meadow and some gold. Is this an incredible focal point cluster or what? Oh my goodness, Heather. Stunning, gorgeous, jaw-dropping, right? It's just amazing. Thank you so much for all that work you put into that. And she layered it with this little pretty piece of Perfect Plum. I'm gonna have to save this and incorporate it into a card as well. And it came perfect from all the way from Australia. And that's not the only card I got from Australia. Last but not least, this is from my friend Lynn. She has been a perfect pen pal since we met through these video tutorials, and she also created an amazing focal point cluster and layered all that goodness behind this heart, which is so sweet. So you've got even has a little bit of layered of this mesh, which is so pretty, along with the copper. You guys are amazing. Lynn, this card is so sweet. Thank you very much for remembering our friend-iversary. Okay, those are so precious. All right, so we have a new mini catalog that's going to start September 4th. If you haven't heard the buzz, there's a new mini catalog, so I can't show you the inside until it goes live on September 4th, but you have probably already received one if you have ordered from me. Most recently, I sent out a bunch, but I have a bunch more, so if you don't have one and you are a customer, you can use the link in the description box and you can sign up for one, and I will mail one to you. This has all the beautiful holiday things in it. Okay, was that it? I think that's it. Let's get busy. Today we're going to work on a card template. And this is number 25. zoom in just a little bit. So that means there are 24 other templates that I have put together that are ways to jumpstart your creativity. So you can grab a template when you are feeling uninspired, or you just want to follow a pattern like a recipe for dinner, and grab a template and you've got your dimensions and you can just go to work. So I needed something very simple to jump back into card making after taking like 3 weeks off of card making, and plus having my craft room in a huge mess. So I decided I wanted to do something very simple, and I also wanted to do something that would allow me to play with a lot of the new papers that are in that mini catalog, and to just kind of start trying them out and figuring out how they work together. So this is super simple. You need 4 pieces of designer series paper, and then you have just a basic layered card base with some kind of neutral. It can be white, or it could be any color that coordinates with your designer series paper. And then you need 4 pieces of designer series paper. Here's the other one. So they're different patterns, but you will see, and what I'm going to show you is that you can make this template in a lot of different ways. They don't all have to be different, okay? But it's very easy that way. So here are the dimensions. I wrote them a little bit bigger so you could see them. So let's go back to this template here. So I called this one cornered rectangles only because it's really hard to come up with names, but also because each of the pieces, let's put it that way, are in a corner. Okay, so we've got this piece here that is 2 3/4 by 4, and then underneath is 2 3/4 by 1 inch, and then along the edges we have 1 inch by 2 inches, 1 inch by 3 inches. Super duper easy. So this is also a great template. If you have a bunch of 1 inch strips left over from a package, you can cut those up. Of course, you can adjust the cuts over here. It's very flexible. So this pack is new holiday paper, and it's from a pack called well, it's Take a Bow, but this package of paper is highlighted with a new die set that makes bows, like those beautiful Christmas bows. There's dies that are going to make that. So really it's probably Take a Bow, but it looks like Take a Bow. So call it what you want. There's only three colors in this paper. Granny apple green, garden green, and real red. And so it's super easy to work with. And we've got 8 patterns. So this is a package of 48 sheets, and you get 12 of each of these. So it's designed to be able to put the patterns together. We've got kind of some smaller patterns with some little bit more busy patterns. So let's do this paper first with our template. Hey Kim, you are absolutely right. It's a great template for a stack, cut, and shuffle. That is exactly one of the things I'm going to do with this template. You are on it. Hey Narita. Okay, so I'm going to put this one in the corner of this top, like upper left-hand side. Obviously, you can flip this pattern. And there's basically approximately a 1/16 of an inch in between. This is 4 by 5 1/4. So I measured it. It's not quite an 1/8. It's a little more than a 1/16, but it's very easy to just kind of eyeball it. And just make those spaces even around the edges and then in between. So we're just creating these little rectangle boxes. Hey, Sarah Jones. Thanks for joining us today. Okay, that was it. Easy, super cute. And of course, I'm gonna make, I think, mostly vertical cards today, but you definitely can change this around and make this a horizontal card as well. Okay, so I'm putting this on garden green cardstock. Now, all we have to do is plop a greeting on there, right? This is one of those nice, easy templates, so you can do so many different things with it. So I wanted to play with one of the first things that I pre-ordered as a demonstrator from the mini catalog was this More Than Autumn kind of coffee themed stamp set. That falls right into my wheelhouse of things that I love. Coffee, hot chocolate, pumpkins, cider, all those good fall things. So let's just stamp these. Those are so cute. So we've got our cup. We've got whipped cream. We have a little peppermint stick. I'm going to use that little heart. And somewhere there's a straw. Let's see, there's a cinnamon stick, a straw, there's marshmallows. Look at that cute little straw. And then there's all kinds of little things like gingerbread boy and an apple and a pumpkin, some sprinkles, a donut, piece of pie. I mean, so cute. Okay. So these all have dies to cut them out, and so I've already done that just to save us some time. And let's do some coloring. So since Real Red is in my paper, I'm going to use Real Red for the cup. And I need a new red. I have used this one. My brush tip is a little sad, but it still works, so we've got to use it all up. So this is a Stampin' Blend marker, so it has a dark and light. So I'm using the light first, and then I'm going to go back with the dark. My dark is just going to kind of go around the edges to give it a little bit of shadow. And then I'll blend that back in with the light. I'm going to also use crumb cake, and this is the light crumb cake for the little wrap. The sleeve, I think that's called. Same thing, just gonna do dark around the outside. Oops. Sometimes when I pull on the markers, this happens occasionally, where I pull closer to the middle than the top, and then that whole thing comes out, but it pops back in, so if that happens to you, don't panic. Okay, so there's our cup. We've got our whipped cream. So one of the things you can do on this template, you can just plop kind of a focal point wherever you want on there, create a little cluster, or you can use this piece right here, keep this a blank piece of cardstock, put a big greeting there, or do some stamping, create a little scene. So I'm going to pull out the Granny Apple Green and use this as a background for my coffee cup on this particular card. And let's find the word peppermint. And I'm going to take Granny Apple Green with that word. Not sure why I did a diagonal, but that is just what happened. Okay, so I'm going to put this right in the center here. So you'll find there's a lot of dies, that make rectangles that will work with this particular layout. This happens to be the radiating stitched dies. This is the smallest one here. All kinds of little greetings in this stamp set. I'm just going to put a little hello. Whipped cream up there, and then just looking for my green. Let's make the straw green. Now, I'm not sure how you feel. I hardly ever can do Christmas cards this early, especially in the summer. I'm not ready, but I'm just kind of forcing myself to become one with the idea that I'm going to get it done this year early. Okay, so that's coming together. I'm going to go ahead and just make the heart a little darker so that the word stands out, the hello. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. Let's just add a little bow. So this twine is new. I'm gonna have some red and white twine to play with, along with these adorable little peppermint red and white adhesive back peppermints. Definitely the cutest thing. In the catalog, I think. So let's use a couple. There's 3 sizes, so that makes it really easy to layer them in 3s. Okay, so there's an up close of all those little peppermints. Nice and busy with our colors here. Okay, so this is our first attempt at the template and just trying out some new papers from that new mini catalog. Let me clean up this part right here. So let's take a look at this same template made with different papers. So here's another one. This is a different set of designer series paper. That I'm learning the name of. Reindeer Days. So these are the colors in Reindeer Days. So we've got the exact same garden green, granny apple green, and real red. So it's kind of nice when you have that, because that means that you could add these kind of geometric patterns to this very busy like reindeer paper, and you're going to have the same color palette to work with. I love it when that is a consideration for putting together designer series papers. So let me show you the reindeer sides. I'll zoom out a little bit. Okay, so we've got cute little reindeer. Little reindeer scenes. Okay, and then the back sides are smaller Christmas patterns. Okay, so even if you didn't want to use the reindeer side at all, you've got some great paper to work with. And then of course you can combine it with this paper too. So I will be offering a paper share this year for specifically the September to December mini catalog. As long as nothing goes on back order, I will have a paper share if you want to get a little bit of all the papers. Okay, so that's reindeer days. And again, using 4 different pieces of designer series paper that coordinate together, plop on a focal point. So just like last year, Stampin' Up! Has come up with a pack of paper that is going to include a donation to a charity with every purchase. Sentimental Christmas is the name of this paper. It has some really neat color combinations. It definitely reminds you of old-fashioned Christmases. Has a little bit of that like peacock and like some blue in it, which I remember that color in decor a lot. And then here's the other side. So there's a bundle that goes with this. Interesting and different than the usual. So here is the pattern. This pattern paper with that particular set of Sentimental Christmas Designer Series paper. Now I had a hard time. Those papers are all really different, which sometimes that makes it a little bit harder to work with. Especially if you don't get the stamp set that goes with it, right? So I was trying to find the colors that went together and decided that one of these spaces could definitely be where the greeting goes. So that is an option as well. I used some of the new Glimmer paper to just add a simple little word there. Okay, so lots and lots of ways to use the template and make it your own. Okay, the last card that I want to share with you that uses all different papers is using the new A Little Bit Festive specialty paper. So this is just like the Frames and Flowers specialty paper that is in the current annual catalog, where you get frames and you get die cuts. Look how beautiful these are. These just all pop out, ready to go. Okay. I haven't popped them all out yet. So you get 3 sheets of die cuts, 2 which are just pieces, 1 that is framed, and then you get 3 pieces of double-sided designer series paper. So this has a little bit more of like a modern flair to it, I feel like, with the colors and the designs, right? Just kind of a modern looking background. So this is very fun. The pop of blue in there is amazing. So I took one of the die cuts and then I created this with a greeting set I'll show you in a minute, and used the 4 different sides of that paper to create this one. Super easy. You can kind of see that you can really put your focal point anywhere on this template. Okay, so that is, what did I say? A Little Bit Festive. I'm learning this right along with you. Okay, let me set that down. So let's do something. Let's just change gears here a little bit. And we're going to do the same template, but we're going to do it with a pack of scenery paper. So if you've been watching some catalog unboxings from other demonstrators with what is coming in the September to December mini catalog, you may have seen this package of fall scenery. So it's really a neat combination of like scenes that are very much like the meandering meadow, but they definitely have a fall theme to them, which is just gorgeous. Okay, so there's 12 different scene designs, and then the backs are all beautiful, like plain watercolors. Got cherry, Cajun craze, pecan pie, wild wheat, garden green, mossy meadow. Got some blues in there, a little bit of blackberry, so it's got some great colors to play with. So we're going to do this same card template, but we're going to use a scene. So I picked this one. And so someone had suggested when we did our Pick 2 scenery One Sheet Wonder a few weeks ago, and we were having a lot of fun with that. It's neat if you take a piece of vellum or acetate and just make it the size of where you're cutting, so that you can really look on your scenes and kind of decide where do I want to cut to get the right scene. So if you want to start with a whole sheet of paper, for example, one that has a scene, and you want to make these sizes out of it, when you start, the starting size is 3 3/4 by 5 inches. So that is the size of this acetate. Okay, so I'm going to do this bottom corner here to get this part right here. So I'm going to cut it to 5 inches first, cut off the top here. So that'll be a nice layering piece I can save, and then I'm going to go in 3 3/4. Okay, so now I have my starting piece. That's 3 3/4 by 5. So now I can cut these sizes. So you want to cut your 2 3/4 inch first. So I'm going to do that. I want the bigger section right there. Okay, and then I'm going to turn this and just cut 1 inch off the bottom. And then this gets cut into 3 and 2. Like that. Okay, so that's how you can take a scene. Ooh, Roxanne likes the one with the hard to use paper. The Sentimental Christmas, I think that's what it was called, right? So I'm going to just use white here. On that. So this white piece is 4 by 5 1/4. So not just pop on the white with the white in between there. So this is Mossy Meadow for my card base. Okay, so I've already just cut out a little focal point for this, and we're going to keep it really simple because that card is so beautiful. So this is a new set of greetings and dies if you want to bundle it together. Nope, this is not the one. This one. Again, that's why I got confused. So there's two different sets that have greetings and different frames. So this is the one right here. I use this smaller one. And it has these fun little ribbon holes in there that you can use or not use. And so I'm going to use them. So this particular ribbon is called Rustic Striped Ribbon in Wild Wheat. And it's kind of one of my favorite ribbons in the catalog because it is the wild wheat color, but it also just really looks gold. And so I'm finding as I'm playing with the papers, it works with so many different ones, not just something fall. Okay, so I just put the loop through the top. Make it a little smaller. This is just one way. There's lots of ways you can do the ribbon here. And then that took all of my concentration. Okay. So I've got just a cute little, kind of looks like a little badge you would wear. And then you can put it anywhere. If you want to put it kind of at an intersection, wherever your scene, wherever you think it looks best for your scene. And then there's these beautiful fall faux glass dots in the fall colors. So let's add some of those as well. I think I'm going to go for this pumpkin color. Although all of them would work. They're very subtle. So of course we could add a little bit more, a little greenery to that, but let's just keep this one real simple. Great. Very fun. All right, here's the first one I did with some scenery paper. I did a little bit more of a focal point on there where this had the big, bold, whatever these flowers are. They're beautiful. So you can see I just flipped the design based on my scene. I wanted the bigger section to be on the other side, so you can just cut this. And this has those beautiful, there's new little leaves. You can get a package of woven gold leaves. And you can just tack those on. Here's that ribbon in the background with some of those faux glass dots as well. Back to the Reindeer for Days paper, I just did this scene the same way, using regular scenery paper from from that. Okay, so that's another way you can use the template. Okay, let's keep it real simple. Like this could actually be one of your Christmas cards. So let's say you don't want to have this extra layer. Okay, you want to just maybe use 2 pieces of paper or something very simple. So if you want to, you can start with a piece of paper that measures 4 by 5 1/4. So it's essentially this this layer that I have been putting the designer series paper on. Let's just start with that layer. Let's make it simple. And so I have cut a piece of navy, Night of Navy, and I already ran it through this embossing folder called Painted Trees. So we have a nice embossed front. And now we're going to cut it into our pieces. So the only thing that has to change, let's compare here. You're still going to do 2 3/4 by 4. That's going to stay the same. But your edges, those strips, instead of being 1 inch, they're all going to be 1 1/4 inch. Okay, so it's real simple to transition from one to the other. So let's do our 2 3/4 inch first. And then 4. And then 2. Okay, so my card base is going to be basic white. And instead of just making a regular card base, I cut this from 12 by 12 paper. So this is 12 inches by 5 1/2, and that's just allowing me to have this little extra flap inside. Okay, so it's just another little idea to make a trifold card. You could also, the way it works out, if you wanted, you could create this into a little pocket. So now, since there's not a layering piece, right, you just have to know where your margins are before you start gluing and how you want to space them. Okay, so it's going to be real simple like that. I like to start with the bigger piece. Hi, Lynn. Oh, I'm glad you like this template. You can go cut up some paper right now. Hey, Sharon, welcome. Okay, so there is that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is take my white craft pad and I'm just going to rub it, do some direct to paper technique over this beautiful 3D embossed trees. It creates a real ooh. I'm going to flatten that. The reason I'm doing it second, you could do it probably smart if you were making a bunch of these. You would do this step that I'm going to do before you cut it apart. But since I didn't want to wait for it to dry, this is how I'm doing it. I'm going to do it upside down here. So I'm going to start off of the card onto my scratch paper so I can feel where the ink pad is touching, and then just lightly bring it all the way up like that. course, if you want more, then you do it again. Whoops, I missed a little piece right here. Let's do that again. Go right on the edge there. There we go. Now, if you want it really white, you could sprinkle some embossing powder on there. But I just like that little subtle. Doesn't that just make all the difference in the world? So pretty. Okay, so that's going to dry. We're going to let that air dry. And we're going to add a greeting. And so I chose this layer from this particular bundle. You get 4 different of these fun little labels. Lots of different cute sayings here for the holidays. So we'll just keep this monochromatic with our Night of Navy. Hard to know where to put it because it looks good everywhere. So you could put that right in the middle. I think I'm going to stick it here because I just love the tops of the trees, but there's really no wrong answer here. These are also new embellishments, Regal Foiled Adhesive Back Dots. I keep losing every single thing. So one of the things then with this is from a different pack I'm going to show you in just a second. I'm going to put an extra piece of Designer Series paper in here. Just for something a little bit different. Especially if you're going to send a Christmas card. You could put your little family picture here or whatever and still have your message. Do some stamping if you want. That embossing folder is part of a suite of evergreens that I haven't even really touched the surface of at all, but I thought let's just do some of these little guys down here like that. And then you've just got a little bit of extra space in there. Okay, now let's put these embellishments on. I'm going to use the blue since we're just really doing monochromatic, has a little bit of gold in it, so that'll be our sparkle. With our greeting. Okay, so you could add a little bit more to this if you wanted to, but I was really thinking like, okay, what would be a very easy holiday card to make that you could make over and over, kind of mass produce, and I thought that this would be a neat way to do something a little different. Okay, so that's navy. The first one that I played with this folder. I did in the pretty peacock color, which you can see is also lovely. Added the pop of the wild wheat. Just added a nice little gold, kind of little gold accent to it. Okay, so that is how you adjust the template if you don't want to add that extra layer. You just want to plop that right on top of your card base, and that works wonderfully. Okay, the last thing I'm going to show you is the stack, cut, shuffle idea. Okay, so this package of paper is called Regal Winter, and it has these very rich floral designs. It's almost a little overwhelming to look at it at first. Yeah, those are different. These two are very similar, so it's kind of nice. You'll get 4 sheets that have almost the exact same. Is it? No, it's different. It has, so this one has more purple, this one has more red. And then we've got the pop of the wild wheat in there. So like that wild wheat ribbon goes with everything. And then here are the beautiful backs. So you've got pretty peacock, wild wheat, blackberry bliss, night of navy, cherry cobbler. Beautiful, beautiful. There's blackberry ribbon that has the gold edge on it. There's also cherry ribbon with the gold edge. That would also work with this paper. And of course, the wild wheat is going to look spectacular with that, along with anything else that is just gold. Okay, so you've got a lot of fun options there. So what I wanted to do is, if you want to do a stack, cut, and shuffle, you pick 4, because we're dividing this into 4 pieces. Let's go back to this one. These are the dimensions. You want to get 4 things that are coordinate together. So this is like my favorite piece from that pack. I would love a beautiful fall dress or a fall blouse in this. It's just really neat combination of colors. And so I have a piece of cardstock with Blackberry Bliss that I already ran through the timber embossing folder. And then I'm using the back side of this one, which is also Blackberry Bliss. And then I pulled out from my Color Family 6x6 Designer Series paper, I pulled out a petal pink, because there's kind of it doesn't say petal pink is in this color, combination for this pack of paper, but it definitely, there's some light pink here. A little fresh freesia even. So stack, cut, and shuffle means you stack them, and then you cut them, and then you shuffle them. So I'm going to do that 2 3/4 inch cut first. I'm going to try cutting these all at the same time. I'm not sure I'll be successful because of the embossed cardstock in there. Let's see. Okay, that worked. So I'll just keep them together. And we'll turn and do our 4-inch cut. Okay. And then let's do 2 inches. Okay. So there's our piles. So we stacked them, we cut them, and now we shuffle them. So my card bases are going to be pretty in pink. So I'm kind of stuck on that, coordinating with this. And then I have my pieces here. Like that. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to pick one to start, okay? And then you're going to shuffle them around, okay? So for the first set, I'm going to start here and just go clockwise. I shuffle once on that pile, I shuffle twice, and then here I shuffle 3 times, which gets me to that one. Okay, so then you have them all worked out to add to your cards. So you can just take one from each pile. And then each card is going to look a little different. A different mixture of the patterns. Such a fun way to sit down and make a bunch of cards and not get bored with what you're doing. At least I don't. I find this very soothing. Okay, so we've got our shuffle down and then we just have to glue them together. So I'm just going to put one together and I'll finish these later. Of course, if you've got really interesting paper like that Christmas paper and you were doing this technique with that first set of take a bow paper, where the papers all coordinate side, each side, then you can flip them around too as you shuffle them and use different sides. So this one's fun when you add that little bit of texture. This is for the tree card where you don't have the layer. So it's exactly the same, except instead of 1 inch around, it's 1 1/4 inch. All right, that didn't turn out too badly. I like it. So the bundle that goes along with this paper, if you wanted to bundle, it has this beautiful kind of distinctive watercolor esque looking stamps and some greetings, little background, and some dies. And one of the dies makes this fun little frame. So if you kind of like watercolors, this is a good stamp set. So I just thought we would use the larger size for this card. Now I just inked my Blackberry Bliss, and a really inky ink pad with distinctive images doesn't work as well. I don't know if this ever happens to you with an inky pad. So one of the things that I do is I'll just take one of my blocks. Now mine are rounded edges, so you want something that is not going to tear your pad. And I just kind of like push the ink over or down. It kind of like gets it away from the surface. Okay. And then you can stamp it again. And look how much better that is. So this was the first time, and then even when I inked it off, it was still muddy. You couldn't see that distinctive, the etching, right? But then when you kind of get some of the ink away from the surface of your pad, it helps a lot. Okay, so we're gonna put those right there. And where was I going to put that? Okay, so we have a long greeting here. So I'm going to turn this so I can do it in two. So I'm just going to ink up sending love. Like that, and I'll clean it off, and then we'll do your way. Okay, I'm going to keep this, again, very simple, thinking about sending cards, nice flat cards in the mail. Let's just add a little ribbon and some embellishments. Do you have some paper in mind, or an embossing folder, or something that is you're thinking about, oh, this is going to work perfectly for me? Okay, so I'm just putting like 3 little pieces of tape here, and I'm going to just layer, I'm going to crisscross this ribbon here. And we'll get some of that gold. Just peeking out. I think I would love a little bit more of the petal pink, like peeking out, but I'm just gonna keep this real simple. And put a little purple down here too. Okay. All right, so I will finish these. We'll share them. I'll share them on my Facebook page, but let me stack them this way so that they don't fall apart, and you'll see the whole set at some point. And here's another one with the Regal Winter paper, with the first method using a different piece of Designer Series paper, the label that comes with it, and then here I mounted it on basic black, and you can see with those rich colors that looks so pretty layered on basic black. And then here's another set of Stack, Cut, and Shuffle, showcasing the last paper that I played with this template. And Snowy Scenes is the name of this paper. So we have another great color combination here. Got houses and snowflakes. Nice little hand-drawn plaid. Some holly. Some big snow globes, some penguins. This is fun. Snowy scenes. Lots of fun patterns to use. Okay, so I did a stack cut and shuffle. In the same way, I found 3 pieces of paper that went together, and then I also used an embossed piece of garden green with the dazzling details. And then I kept all of the focal points the same. I just used a stitched circle and then some of this fun new ribbon. Okay, so that's just an easy way to make a bunch of cards at one time. Okay, let's bring our cards back. And you can tell me your thoughts. Let's get our template. Hey, Sarah. Hey, Tony. There's that one. Here's our easy peasy scenery. And then are using 4 different pieces. All right. Of course, tell me your favorite if you have a favorite, but I would love to know where you want to jump off with this template, if you have some paper in mind that you want to use, or if you have an embossing folder like this where you could just make a nice, easy card, some scenery paper. This one's yummy. I'm gonna have to send this to somebody very special with all those little die cuts. I'm gonna take a minute to read the comments and say hello to everyone. Don't forget that there will be a link in the description box for this video so that you can download this template, or you can just go to my website and click on the tab for Robin's card templates, and all 25 of them live there. Yes, Linda, look how many Christmas cards I've done already. I need to put them in a box and so I can see that pile grow. Ooh, Tony made one while we were working with the flowering zinnias paper. Oh, I bet that's so pretty. So beautiful. Hey, Crystal. Hi, Debbie. Hey, Sherry. That's a good tip. Yes, I never put my silicone mat out for some reason, but that does help with that adhesive to get it going. Good tip. Margie, you didn't get Peaceful Evergreen. Well, you know what? You can come borrow mine. How's that sound? Hey, Tiffany. I'm so glad you caught alive. The Regal Winter Designer Series paper can be kind of overwhelming because it's so florally. We've had a couple packages like that before. It's always great if you can just kind of like size down the piece that you use, and then you realize like when you have a smaller chunk of it on your card is not as overwhelming. Anything with trees gets my vote. Thank you, Charlie. Mary Ellen, new to your lives. Yes, the template is not up right now because as soon as I finish my live video, then I do the blog post. So it takes a minute, but the link will be in, you can find it in the description box for this video, or you can go right to my website. Louise likes the Christmas drink on the festive paper. I know. Sometimes I agree, Peggy, when you've got that beautiful scenery paper, like it doesn't need anything else. It's just gorgeous. Hi, Linda. Hey, Julie. Thank you, Ida. Thank you, Kathleen. All right, you guys, you are so wonderful. Brenda likes the new papers. The new papers always exciting, right? I like to showcase them in this way with a template, but I was thinking about all the papers that I still have in my stash and wanting to try them with this template. So I know I'm going to be using it more and more. Oh, Joy, thank you. I don't think I mentioned, because I like to get right to the project. I'm so sorry. Yes. For the rest of August, all the designer series papers that are the regular price, not the specialty ones, they're all 15% off from the annual catalog. None of these papers that I use today, but the papers that are designer series papers that are in the annual catalog are all 15% off through the end of August. So that is a great deal. And then I do have a new host code if you're going to order from me. And if you spend $50 or more, I send you a gift. And this month it is 2 adhesives. You're going to get liquid glue and dimensionals. So it's kind of like a restock situation for your adhesive. So you use the code. Thank you, Joy, for that reminder. Thanks, Gwen. All right. I'm going to let you go. I'm going to continue to work, and thank you so much for spending time with me. I appreciate it very much. And until next time, I hope that you go and get out some paper from your stash and cut it up. Maybe use this template, do something fun with it, and make some cards. All right. Thank you so much. Bye.